Okay, welcome to the July 14, 2021 regular board meeting of the Chino Valley Fire District Board of Directors. The time is 4 p.m. Please make sure your microphones are on and remember to talk directly into the microphone, everyone who's up here on the dais when you do speak. I will now open the meeting and take roll. Director Wynn Williams. Here. Director Harvey Luth. Here. Director John DeMonico.
Here.
Vice President Mike Krieger.
Here.
And myself, present. Did everyone have their microphones on when they said here?
Here.
Just a reminder. Okay.
Present.
Before I adjourn the open session to closed session portion of the meeting, I will read the closed session items. Conference with labor negotiators. Meet with board's previously appointed negotiator, Fire Chief Tim Shackelford, Finance Director Steve Heide, and Human Resource Director Christy Kuchara, and Oliver Yee of LCW regarding negotiations between the Chino Valley Professional Firefighters Local 3522 CVPF unit and the Chino Valley Fire District per Government Code 54957.6. Conference with legal counsel, existing litigation, paragraph 1 of subdivision D of section 54956.9, name of case, City of Chino versus California Departments of Corrections and Rehabilitation, San Bernardino Superior Court case number CIVDS 1917019, public employee appointment, fire chief, public employment appointment, Fire Chief, Government Code 54957. Conference with labor negotiators. Meet with the district's designated negotiator, Board President Sarah Ramos-Evinger, regarding negotiations between the Fire Chief and the Chino Valley Independent Fire District per Government Code Section 54957.6. Negotiations will include salary compensation, and benefits. Did we receive any public comment on any of these items?
We have no public comment.
Okay. There's no comments on this item. I will now adjourn the open session to closed session. We will return to open session approximately 6 p.m. Okay, thank you, everybody. At this time, I am going to reopen the to open session, and welcome to the July 14th, 2021 regular board meeting of the Chino Valley Fire District Board of Directors. The time is 6:01 p.m. We will now begin the meeting. And I will now open the meeting and take roll. Director Wynn Williams. Here. Director Harvey Luth.
Here.
Director John DeMonico.
Here.
Vice President Mike Krieger.
Here.
And myself, present. Legal counsel, can you please report out a closed session?
Thank you, Board President. Out of our 4 closed session items, there's no reportable action with the exception of a statement that the Board President intends to read.
Okay, thank you very much. And with respect to the 2 closed session involving Fire Chief, the public employee appointment, and conference with labor negotiators regarding the Fire Chief's contract, the board notes that while the contract negotiations remain ongoing, the Board of Directors has voted unanimously to select Deputy Chief Dave Williams for the position of Fire Chief. Okay. Pursuant to Brown Act, once labor negotiations have concluded and prior to taking final action on the fire chief contract in open session during a regular meeting, the district will orally report on the proposed salary schedules, and any compensation paid in form of fringe benefits with respect to the fire chief contract, and will take all other required actions to formally appoint Deputy Chief Williams. Congratulations. Okay. Next on the agenda, flag salute, and I'm going to ask Deputy Chief Williams if he would please lead us this evening.
Everybody stand. Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And if everyone would please remain standing, and I am going to ask Chaplain Keith Roby if he could please join us for the invocation this evening.
Please bow your heads with me. Loving and gracious God, we thank you today for all your blessings. And Father, as our board of directors continues to go through negotiation and other major decisions, we pray for your wisdom and guidance. Give them your insight to use the resources you have provided wisely for all those that have placed their trust and confidence in their leadership. We thank you for our administrators and firefighters and pray for your continued protection and blessing over them, especially those traveling on strike teams and fighting fires in our state and nation. 2 Samuel says, "It is God who arms me with strength and keeps my way secure." With that, I ask that you guard our firefighters, surround them with a hedge of protection that will keep them safe and able to return home to their families safe and sound. And for our families that have made sacrifices so that we may serve our cities, I pray that you would watch over them, comfort and bless them. I thank you for those that we recognize tonight that have embodied the excellence, integrity, faithfulness, and respect that is our creed. First Chronicles says, "You tell us that you rejoice when you find integrity in our hearts." May we continue to represent and reflect the love, mercy, and grace that you have shown us. We pray this in Jesus' precious name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much, Chaplain Roby. Okay, Clerk of the Board, do we have any changes to the agenda?
Yes, we have one change. Staff would like to request to pull agenda item number 9 from the consent calendar.
Okay, thank you very much.
Next item, presentations and announcements, recognitions, community members.
Okay, tonight we are recognizing 3 members of the community who rendered aid and immediately initiated CPR on a community member in cardiac arrest. I would like to invite Deputy Chief Dave Williams to join me up front.
Hello, President Ramos-Amager, Board of Directors, staff, and community members. Tonight, we're here to honor 3 of our community members with our Chino Valley Fire District Cardiac Care Program Hometown Hero Award. And what I want to read to you is a little synopsis of a scenario that took place, and we're honored to have those folks and the survivor here with us this evening, and we'll be presenting them with an award following the little presentation. On April 26, 2001, Randall Jett, a resident of Lake Forest, California, was golfing at Los Serranos Golf Course in Chino Hills. While out on the course, Mr. Jett collapsed, suffering from a sudden cardiac arrest. Matt Wilson and Becky Rourke, both athletic trainers from Pomona-Pitzer College, and Jared, help me out with this, Tietkin, an employee of the Los Serranos Golf Club, recognized the severity of Mr. Jett's condition. 911 was activated, and the 3 of them rushed to render aid to Mr. Jett. They quickly assessed and determined that he was not conscious and not breathing, and they immediately initiated hands-only CPR. Matt and Becky had bought an AED from the golf course while covering the event, and they coordinated the application of the AED to Mr. Jett. Matt and Becky and Jared provided approximately 10 minutes of CPR and delivered 2 electrical shocks to Mr. Jett's heart from the AED. Their actions proved to be life-saving. As firefighters from the Chino Valley Fire District arrived on scene, they determined that Mr. Jett had regained a pulse, but was still in grave condition. Fire District personnel provided exceptional, advanced life-supporting care, including delivering further electrical shots to Mr. Jett's heart, administering IV medication, and expertly managing his airway. The crews worked to stabilize Mr. Jett during ambulance transport to Pomona Valley Hospital. CVFD crews transferred the care of Mr. Jett to Pomona Valley Hospital for further treatment and care. Pomona Valley Hospital staff provided post-cardiac care of the highest level, ensuring that Mr. Jett would not only survive the cardiac arrest, but he would survive and maintain an exceptional quality of life. The Chino Valley Fire District recognizes that it takes a system to save the life of a sudden cardiac arrest, a system that strives to develop a community-based integrated approach to manage sudden cardiac arrest. We also recognize that the layperson or bystander is quite possibly our greatest asset in inquiring the help. The efforts of Matt Wilson, Becky Rourke, and Jared Tietkin were exemplary and helped save a life. We hope that their efforts inspire others to be the help until the help arrives. The Chino Valley Fire District recognizes these three individuals with our inaugural Hometown Hero Award. We'd also like to thank and recognize the efforts to the Chino Valley Fire District crews. Many of them are here tonight, and the Pomona Valley Hospital staff for their contributing efforts to help save the life of Mr. Randall Jett. Lastly, thank you to Mr. Randall Jett and his wife Kathy for joining us tonight and for allowing us to share this remarkable story. So we thank you very much for the community members that helped. We're happy that you're here with us today. And at this time, we'd like to have let's see here, Matt, Becky, and Jared, we'd like to have you come forward with Mr. Jett and receive your award. Well, I'll have you come up after.
We'll have you come up and I'd like to take a picture. So, and on behalf of the Board of Directors of the Chino Valley Fire District, I'd like to thank you guys and congratulate you for achieving the Hometown Hero Award. And I'll start off, Jared Teagan, is he not here this evening? Okay, I'm sorry, wasn't able to. So we have a nice award for him, which we'll be presenting. And I have, I'll start with Matt, because Matt was there. Matt, congratulations. You have this wonderful award, and it says, the Chino Valley Fire District recognizes Matt Wilson on the Hometown Hero for performing a heroic act of CPR, a critical link to the chain of survival. We commend you for your courage to perform this life-saving skill during an emergency. Your actions have helped save a life within our community, and you have inspired others to do the same. Congratulations. Thank you so much for your heroic act. Okay, thank you. I'm going to have you stay over here if you don't mind on this side. And then Becky. Congratulations, Becky. Thank you so much. And I'm going to read yours because you're just as special as the first. And the Chino Valley Fire District recognizes Becky, is it Rorick? Rorick, as the hometown hero for performing a heroic act of CPR, a critical link in the chain of survival. We commend you for your courage to perform this life-saving skill during an emergency. Your actions have helped save a life within our community, and you have inspired others to do the same. Thank you so much for your heroic act. And I think, Marcel, would you like the crews to come up and to take a picture with them? And we would also like the survivor to come up as well. And wherever, and, you know, this program, and unfortunately, Ryan this evening couldn't be here this evening, and I'd like to make sure that he's recognized, because he's put so much effort into our program, and this is just display as another one of our wonderful wins in this, and I commend him for his dedication. So. And then maybe just the crews without me, and then, yeah, if you want to bring the rest of. Yes, yeah. Okay, sure. And we're bringing up the Pomona Valley staff right now. Right? Yeah. Did you bring it?
Yeah, actually, you can just stand. You just stand. Next item is the Employee Service Awards.
Okay, sorry, I'm a little rusty. I haven't had a live, been able to do this live for so long. I'm so excited about this. So this evening, we would like to recognize 13 Service Award recipients for their dedication to the Chino Valley Fire District. As your name is called, please join me up front and stay up front for a group photo. And I'm gonna go here. So do I start, which way, Sandra, does it?
Yes, our 5-year Service Award recipients, we'll start with Fire Inspector Jason Rivera. Please come
Okay.
forward.
Do I have everyone's, okay, all right, congratulations, and here's your 5-year pin. Congratulations on that, thank you. Yes, doing it. Thank you, and I'm gonna have you stay. Okay, and are you gonna announce names?
Sure.
Okay.
Next is Deputy Fire Marshal Austin Ott.
Austin, all right, congratulations. Here you go.
Stand up, sir.
I know Austin, so.
He had to
he
show
gets a
turn the
little
camera to
different,
get
so-
it,
Okay.
Now for our 10-year Service Awards, we have firefighter paramedic Nicholas Magallanes. Is he here this evening? Okay. Engineer Michael Deal.
I can't believe it's already 10 years for this group. Seems like it was yesterday. Okay, congratulations, thank you so much.
Engineer Thomas Kavanaugh.
Thank you.
Okay, and Battalion Chief Greg Gable.
Should I do it too? Yes, yes, yes. Get a picture with me. You and everyone else? Thank you.
Before we take a group photo, I also wanted to recognize those that weren't able to attend this evening. Firefighter paramedic Jason Farnsworth, Engineer Jeffrey Anderson, Engineer Stephen Kester, Engineer Ethan Sanders, Captain Jonathan Kripe, and Captain Scott Proskett.
And congratulations, you guys. This is awesome. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate it.
So we'll do one group photo.
Do I stay or is it just them?
Jump into it.
Okay. Thank you.
We also have one 20-year service award, Engineer Brian Wofford, and he was unable to join us this evening.
So, and again, on behalf of the Chino Valley Fire District, its board, we want to thank again all the service award winners for their hard work and commitment to our district. We really appreciate you guys, very much so, as well as the community. So thank you again. And at this time, we're going to take a 5-minute short break. This will allow if anyone wants to come take photos up at the front or use this time to go ahead and leave, we completely understand. Thank you for your attendance this evening.
We'll start with public communications. This is a time and place for the general public to address the Board of Directors about subjects that do not appear elsewhere on the agenda. The public may address items on the agenda at the time addressed by the board. Due to board policy and Brown Act requirements, action may not be taken on any issue not on the agenda. When you address the board, please state your name and address, optional prior to making your remarks. Please limit your comments to 5 minutes. And do we have any requests to speak? Okay, see none. Next item, liaison reports, and we will call on Councilmember Art Bennett, City of Chino Hills.
Well, good evening, Sarah, Mike, rest of the board members, Chief Shackelford, Chief-elect Dave Williams. Had we known we were going to get this great news tonight, we wouldn't have kept you there till 9:30 last night. And we also thank Harvey and Mike for being there for the entire council meeting we had last night. We found out a while back that you get now my reports, and I know that you just wait with bated breath, waiting for me to tell you more, but I'm going to pass on that for right now. There's a couple things on there, though, that I do want to remind you of. Of course, we have a concert in the park tonight. I doubt that anyone's going to want to rush from here over there, but if you want to, and there's a concert over there tonight. Big event coming up this Friday, however, the Mccoy Community Celebration. This is going to be celebrating the gift of the Mccoy Equestrian and Recreation Center by the late Helen Mccoy to the city of Chino Hills and its residents. So we're going to have, that's going to go from 4 to 6 at the Mccoy Equestrian Center on Friday afternoon. There'll be a brief presentation about 4:15, and then there's going to be lots of things, ice cream social, crafts and activities, self-guided tours. There's going to be an opportunity to visit with some horses, of the people that own them there on English Road. So it's going to be a really good deal. But, congratulations to all of the individuals that were recognized this evening for the longevity of their service. There's a lot of correlation between the fire district and the city of Chino Hills from the standpoint that this is a great place to work. And that's why you have employees that stay here a long time. You have a great succession planning, as is evidenced by Dave's appointment, or being chosen to succeed Tim. Those are the kind of things that give all of the employees of the district some real feeling that, hey, there's an opportunity long-term here. When you're hiring people from the outside and bringing them in and not promoting from within, it kind of rattles the people. They wonder, okay, well, maybe I should just jump at the first chance. So you've been doing a lot of that. The City of Chino Hills employees, same thing. It's a great place to work, so we have a lot of long-term employees. So, kudos go to the entire fire board for running a district that makes people want to stay. Thank you to the chief and the executive staff for making it a work situation that makes people proud to work here, and it's fun to work here. Hey, work, I used to tell my kids, if it were fun, it wouldn't be called work, right? But you can have fun at work. And you have such an important thing, as evidenced by the fact that you saved another individual's life, even with the help of community. So that partnership is something that is to be relished and should be supported, continue to be supported, and you guys should take a lot of credit for that. So kudos to this board for doing that. Kudos to the chief and his staff, and thank you very much. And with that, read those announcements. There's lots of things coming up about COVID vaccines, about blood drives coming up that you've been very involved with. And you participated again this week, the last 2 days, in the active shooter drills at Ayala. Next week, or August 3rd, second or third, first Tuesday in August, you will be participating. You will be going out and meeting us with the neighborhoods that are having the National Night Out, and that's appreciated. Kids love having, Sparky and McGruff from the police department. So those are things that the residents really enjoy, seeing the fire staff, and it just promotes the great things that you guys do. It's great to see your firefighters out there when things aren't going wrong. So to see you in a non-emergency situation is kind of comforting, because they know that you're there. They put a face with the person, and they know, hey, if we ever need to call 911, these are the guys that are going to come out and help us out. So thank you for everything you do. I am so proud to be a resident of this city and to have the Chino Valley Fire District. representing the city of Chino Hills and all its residents. You do a great job. Just keep it up, and kudos to all your staff. And again, congratulations to the people that were honored tonight for their longevity. So take care. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilmember.
With us this evening is Clerk of the Board Donald Bridge from Chino Valley Unified School District.
Well, thank you, President Ramos-Sellinger, Vice President Krieger, and board members. I would like to start off and congratulate Chief Williams on his appointment on behalf of the district, Superintendent Norm Enfield, and also Board President Joe Schaefer. It's wonderful to know that our fire district is in great hands and continuing that way. I also would like to second Councilmember Bennett's about the longevity and congratulate the award winners. And it is a great place to live. It's a great place to work. My wife and I are examples of that. I worked 33 years in the Chino Valley Unified School District, and my wife put in 30 years. And we've lived here in the city 29 years. So it's just a terrific area, and we're proud to be here. And it's nice to be at a live meeting and not on Zoom. So it's what I just want to give a brief report. It's kind of an instant replay of what I told the city council last night. The school district is going to, at trustee area elections. In January, we received a demand letter from an attorney that is well-known for writing to city councils and school districts, advising them that at-large elections were a violation of the California Voting Rights Act. And the school board decided at that time to go ahead and pursue trustee area elections. We've had a couple of open hearings already. Before the maps were drawn, the maps have been drawn now. We haven't decided on one. We have another public hearing tomorrow night, as a matter of fact, on the trustee area scenarios. And we've added a fourth map. If you've looked on the district's website and you saw only 3 maps, there is now a fourth one. And I would encourage you to take a look at that one. As I said, we will have more public comment tomorrow night. We will have public comment in August. We only have one meeting this month, and we have one meeting August 19th. Then shortly after that, the board will decide on a map. It will then go to the County Committee on School District Organization to hold their public hearing before things are finalized. But I just wanted to give you that update, let you know where we're at. But we're going to be dividing into 5 trustee areas, pretty large. So the one map showed that each area represents about 35,000 people in population. So with that, thank you very much, and it's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you, John.
Excuse me, I do have one question, Mr. Bridge. Are they showing those on the television channel for the school district, those areas you're talking about?
I think the last time that we had a presentation by the person that, the company that drew the maps, I think they were on the YouTube channel. I would encourage you to go to the school district website. The maps are on there. They're on the home page right next to the superintendent message. There's a column. You click on that down at the bottom. It'll take you to the maps and will allow you to enlarge them, because I have 8.5 by 11 maps in my folder, but I got some larger ones made so that it's easier to determine where the exact lines are. So the school district website is chino.k12.ca.us with a www in front of that. And that's the best place to look. If you Google it, make sure you're clicking on Chino Valley Unified School District, California, and not Chino Valley, Arizona, which also comes up on the same page. But that's the best place to see it.
Okay, thank you. We appreciate that.
We have that same issue with Chino Valley Fire. Yeah. Yeah.
Next is consent calendar. Next is a consent calendar.
Okay, do we have any public comment on the consent calendar?
We have no public comment.
Okay, if any board members wish to pull an item from the consent calendar for discussion, please state your name and item number you wish to pull. No? Okay, at this time, I would like to request a motion for items 1 through 8.
So moved.
I have a motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. I will now call for a roll call voice vote. Director Wynne Williams,
I vote yes.
Director Harvey Luth,
Yes.
Director John DeMonico,
Yes.
Vice President Mike Krieger.
Yes.
And myself, yes. Motion passes 5-0.
Okay. Old business, none. New business, item number 10, reclassification of the payroll coordinator position to payroll administrator. Purpose is to review, discuss, and approve the proposed reclassification of the payroll coordinator position to payroll administrator. Finance Director Steve Heidi, please present your report.
President Ramos-Evinger, members of the board, good evening. The current payroll coordinator position classification was last updated in 2014, and since that time, the district has experienced significant growth in our financial, budgetary, and operational processes and procedures and related requirements, which have become increasingly sophisticated and more complex and have had a direct impact on our payroll and associated processes. Over the last 7+ years since we last evaluated this position classification, district has also experienced significant growth with regard to the overall size of our budget. And as a service organization, payroll is critically important component of the district's administrative functions, one in which a high degree of competency and accuracy is required in a highly dynamic and complex environment, especially given the complexity of our safety payroll. The district finance team also manages a sophisticated ERP computer system, and our annual audit and annual budget processes are increasingly more complex each year, again, with both having significant impacts on payroll. Additionally, 7 years ago, when the position was last classified, we also did not participate in the award programs for budget reporting and financial reporting by the Government Finance Officers Association. That also adds an additional layer of complexity to our processes, again, directly impacting payroll. Additionally, over the last several years, with regard to the California Public Employees Retirement System requirements, there have been significantly increasing payroll reporting requirements, particularly due to the increased focus and scrutiny on public pensions, the accuracy of data reporting, and in specific anti-pension spiking initiatives. Additionally, a second tier of pension benefits were mandated in 2013 by way of the Public Employee Pension Reform Act, also known as PEPRA, and that presents its own unique challenges for payroll. Also, compliance with the Fair Labor Standards Act is especially onerous in a complex labor environment with safety payroll, as well as the continuing federal and state payroll tax law changes, which have continued to evolve over the years, again adding additional complexity to our tax withholding and reporting rules through payroll. The proposed position classification for payroll administrator is attached to this report, and as you'll see from the red line version of that document, contains substantial additions to and modifications of the current position classification of payroll coordinator. Most significantly, the proposed classification includes the strong preference for a bachelor's degree for this upgraded position, which does not exist in the current classification. And this process is consistent with a similar position classification process undertaken in 2016 when we reclassified the accounting technician position to that of accountant. Staff has been reviewing and analyzing this proposed change for the better part of 2 years. Finance has worked closely with human resources in the analysis, which has included extensive review and study of similarly situated positions in other California local governments. Our HR director is, of course, available to provide additional perspective or answer questions in support of the recommendation this evening. Quite frankly, this has been a long time in coming, and this position reclassification will further the district's succession planning goals, which have been mentioned here this evening. And with that, there is modest fiscal impact, which is included in your staff report, would not require any budgetary adjustments or additional authority at this point in time and could be absorbed within the board-approved budget. With that, without recommendation, I'd like to read without reservation, rather, I'd like to read the recommendation. It's recommended that the Board of Directors review, discuss, and approve the request for reclassification of the payroll coordinator confidential position to payroll administrator confidential. And with that, that concludes my report. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Do we have any requests to speak on this item?
We have no request to speak.
Okay, this is the time for the board to comment. Please ask your questions and make your remarks when I call your name. Director Wynn Williams?
Thank you very much. Yes, is this a position that's already there and we're going to reclassify a person? Is that correct?
That's correct. It's a currently filled position.
Okay, and who is the person that we're going to reclassify? Is that a question I can ask? Or should I not ask that?
I'll defer to,
We probably should not name
Okay.
any employees' names in this evening.
And
if that's okay.
how much would the pay differential be?
well, the overall fiscal impact, including pay and benefits, is approximately $9,000 annually.
Okay. And this person, of course, has the degree and all that stuff.
That's a good question, is working on fulfilling that requirement.
Okay, so would we move her up or move that person up prior to getting the degree, or would we do it right away? Or
The proposal is that we would make this official now, and this person is in process of meeting the requirement. And certainly, we have an informal commitment to fulfill that requirement, and I would have no concerns that that will take place in a timely manner.
Okay, I think that's all the questions I have. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Director Luth?
Yeah, I think you've confirmed my first question. So someone is, the job description we're looking at, the change, someone is doing all of those tasks today?
Yes, currently, these tasks are all being completed, and with that, in that respect, the current position classification is somewhat outdated. And so really, there's a need to make this change to match the current duties.
Okay. If we were going to go out and have to fill this position, this would be the job description we would need to use to properly classify or identify what the role really is?
Absolutely. This not only fulfills our needs today, but I think positions the district well for succession in the future.
Okay, thank you. That's all questions.
Okay. Director DeMonico?
Yes, this actually came to the HR committee, and we were split on moving this forward. And my personal belief is I think this is something we should table for 3 months or so. I'm not opposed to reclassifications and reorganizations. I think we should look at those, but we're going through a lot of changes in the district right now, and I just think this is something we should put off. And, you know, we're going to have a new chief on board, and kudos to Steve and Christie, you're both retiring. I mean, we're going to have some big wholesale changes going on here. And I'm just not comfortable with moving any reorganizations or reclassifications forward. It's just my personal belief. So I would personally love to see this tabled instead of moving forward with it tonight. And I expressed those same opinions at the HR committee meeting.
Okay, thank you very much. Vice President Mike Krieger?
I respectfully disagree with John. If somebody's doing a job outside the classification, it doesn't matter what of our executive management team changes or not, the change needs to be made. And with that, I would move the item to be moved forward.
Okay, and I'm going to comment that with all of the extra, I feel that this needs to be moved forward as well, that this needs to be approved. With all of the items that this individual is currently doing and having to do with all the changes in legislation, et cetera, we're actually utilizing them in a manner that's not of their current position, and I felt that it's necessary that the district does make this change at all. Did you want to add anything else to this from a human resources perspective? Christie, yeah.
Well, I can assure you that
Mike.
we are not loud enough. Sorry about that. Thank you. I can assure you that we did conduct a classification review as outlined in Personnel Rule 3, Classification of Employees. So we did follow the review process. So I can assure you that the rules were adhered to. That's it. Thank you.
Okay. So if there's no further comments from the board, I'd like to request a motion.
I move that we move forward.
Okay, so I have a motion. Do I have a second? I have a motion from Vice President Krieger and a second from Director Luth. I'll now call for a roll call voice vote. Director Williams?
I'll vote yes.
Director Luth?
Yes.
Director DeMonico?
I have to respectfully vote no.
Okay. Vice President Mike Krieger?
Yes.
Myself, yes. So the motion passes 5-1 with Director DeMonico. And I'm sorry, 4-1. I don't count. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. And next, we have Fire Chief comments. Fire Chief Shackelford, can you please
Good evening,
give us your
President
comments?
Ramos-Evinger, Vice President Krieger, board members, staff, and public. I do have some comments for this evening. Before I get to my written comments, I wanted to first congratulate Deputy Chief Williams on his appointment. I was concerned when he stepped out earlier that he wasn't going to come back, so I was pleased that he actually returned from a quick trip to his office for some paperwork. So congratulations. I know you will do a great job moving this organization forward. And you have my full support till the time I leave, and after, I will make myself available in whatever means that I can provide assistance to you and the team here. So congratulations and best wishes to you for the future. Thank you. Personnel development activities. Community risk reduction personnel conducted inspections from June 30th through July 4th for the 25 fireworks booths in the city of Chino. CRR personnel partnered with local law enforcement agencies on the 4th of July. The Chino Police Department issued 46 citations for illegal fireworks, and CVFD and Chino Police Department personnel issued 12 citations. In total, 182 pounds of fireworks were confiscated on the 4th of July. District personnel responded to a total of 6 fireworks-related fires in the district, and no fireworks-related injuries were reported. Under organizational items of interest, the district has once again been awarded a Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting for the Government Finance Officers Association for our June 30th, 2020 Comprehensive Annual Financial Report. The district also participates in the GFOA Budget Awards Program and will be submitting an application for award recognition for our 21-22 budget. Congratulations to Steve and his staff, and I'd also like to express my appreciation for their hard work and diligence to bring this forward. So thank you, Steve, to you and your team for doing that. And next, I would like to ask HR Director Christy Gouchouar for recruitment update.
Thanks, Chief. Our firefighter-paramedic recruitment closes on August 1st. As of this afternoon, we have 85 applications. Please feel free to forward that email or direct anyone that's you think would be a great fit or interested to our website. Thank you.
And how many openings do we have right now?
4.
And how many do we anticipate within the next 6 months? Guess.
Well, by the end of the year, I mean, you've got 6. And
Okay.
there might be others out there
there
I'm
might
not
be
aware
others.
of, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Christy. Under upcoming events, the McCoy Community Celebration is scheduled for Friday, July 16th at 4 p.m., as Councilmember Bennett shared with us earlier. The ASB CSD monthly meeting is scheduled for July, I believe it's the 11th. I'm sorry, it's not. I don't have the correct date. I'll get that back to you. I have a typo on here. 6 p.m., and I believe most of the board members know the date of that, but I will make sure that's confirmed to you. I apologize for that. A finance committee is scheduled for July 26th at 8 a.m., and a special board meeting is scheduled for August 4th at 4 p.m. And finally, I'd like to address some comments made by Vice Mayor Marquez last night. During comments from Public Safety, Deputy Chief Williams made some comments about ECNS, and the Vice Mayor had a question and made a statement referencing a call, and I wanted to address that just because it raised some concerns with me related to a couple things. And one, some of what he shared, I believe, is factually incorrect, and also I think it erodes public trust. So I do want to set the record straight. I'll give some background on the call, and then I'll share a little more information. On June 13th, our dispatch center did receive a call from Community Park, and this was related to an individual that was experiencing some weakness And incorrectly, that call was routed to ECNS, so there was clearly a dispatch error. And this was a dispatch training issue, and it has since been addressed. But that did cause a slight delay in the response. In total, from the initial 911 call to our on-scene time, it was 18 minutes and 10 seconds. And that is an unacceptable response time. It's outside the norm for us. So that part is correct. But last night, Vice Mayor Marquez referenced it being a full arrest that we were delayed for 30 minutes on, and that was not factually correct. And on June 16th, I had a phone conversation with Vice Mayor Marquez. He had a community member with him. He didn't identify who that person was, but had me on speakerphone and had some questions about it. I explained to him that staff had briefed me on it. We were aware of it. There was a dispatch error. It was in the process being corrected. I also shared with him that we made some changes to the ECNS system to make sure that we were meeting community expectations. And that change, as the board is aware, that we are sending a code 2 response along with that ECNS call, just to make sure we don't have issues. But I explained all that to Vice Mayor Marquez. He was pleased to hear that. I shared with him what was the way to resolve the issue was, one, with the dispatcher, two, so the program changes that were occurring. He thanked me for my time, said our folks do some great work. So I was a bit taken back by his comments last night, and perhaps he was confused about something, but I did want to set the record straight for that for the board, as I did have an inquiry from Vice President Krieger about that. So those are the facts. I'd be happy to answer any questions that I can. I want to be careful that we avoid any kind of HIPAA information with the patient involved, but it wasn't a detrimental outcome. Again, that delay was unacceptable, and the issue has been addressed, but it was not a full arrest. And that concludes my comments for this evening. Thank you.
Just a question, can we have that forwarded to the complete city council in the city of Chino Hills?
Yeah, I would appreciate that. And I will tell you personally, I was not happy with the tone of the accusation. It was inappropriate, and I didn't know that you'd already had the conversation with him, or I would have been even more upset. Safe to say that Ray was wound up last night on another issue, and he sometimes can get a little carried away, and he can become a loose cannon. And apparently you felt the brunt of that, but it still was not, it did undermine the confidence of the district, and I did not appreciate the comments, but, you know, we don't control each other.
I appreciate your support, Councilmember Bennett, and you are always very diplomatic and get your point across in a professional manner. We do appreciate that. If it's the board's pleasure, I would feel more comfortable dealing with the city manager and I can connect with Mr. Montgomery and provide some information to him, and then he can disseminate that in whatever fashion is appropriate to the city council.
Yes,
if that's
I
all right.
would appreciate that.
Thank you very
Yes.
much.
I would appreciate it. So, yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Next is board comments. This is a time for the board to comment. Please provide any comments when I call your name. Director Wynn Williams.
Good evening, everybody. It's great to have a regular meeting and see everybody here and give the awards out in person and whatnot. And I sure do like that a lot better than the COVID routine. And so I really don't have too much more to say other than that. I'm, like I say, just very happy to have everything back to normal to a great extent. We're going to get a new fire chief, and that's also something that I'm looking forward to anyway. And I'm really thinking that we're moving ahead here, and I think things are going to be really nice. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Director Luth.
Thank you. It's July 19th.
Thank you very
Yes,
much. I appreciate that.
Yes. So, yeah, it's awesome to be here again, have an audience, have participation here. Really nice to see to be able to recognize the people who saved a life. Some of our personnel were involved, but some public was involved, the hospital was involved. That was just awesome. So really nice that we're able to recognize them, really even better outcome for the individual whose life they saved. Just, again, just reflects well on this district, the efforts to train the public, to get the public involved, to make people aware, to empower people to help. It's such a positive thing. Want to recognize all the service award winners and their years of service. Thank them for all their years, their dedicated service to this community. Let's see here. Had a county airport meeting, I'm sorry. We had our interviews, a couple of Chino Hills council meetings, the Chino 4th celebration, Chino Hills 4th celebration, very, very nicely done. And Steve and your staff again, just kudos. You guys just keep knocking it out of the park, do a great job. Thank you for all your efforts. Thank you to everybody who's involved in assisting with that. And, yeah, I think that's all I've got. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Director DeMonico?
Yes. I too would like to commend the community heroes. You know, I think that says a lot about the program, the effort that this district's put forth in sponsoring that program, or at least providing support for that program. And it shows with the community heroes tonight, but with the lives saved, with sudden cardiac arrest and those things. We're doing a tremendous job in the community, and I've said it before, and it's kind of a weird thing to say, but if you're gonna have a heart attack, have it here. You know, you guys do a great job. And our success rate is better than anybody else's out there by far. And also our, the service awards, congratulations to the guys on your tenure. We expect many, many more years out of you. And, Chief Williams, congratulations.
Thank you.
We're excited to have you become our new fire chief. Disappointed to see Tim leave, but, that's what happens. You put in your time, you get old, and you retire. I did attend Chino Council meetings and IEA meetings and a Board of Supervisors meeting. And the Board of Supervisors meeting was interesting. We had one item on there that was under the county fire section, under the consent calendar. And if I didn't know it was there, we probably would have missed it, but we went by so fast and got approved, I didn't even hear them approve the consent calendar. All of a sudden, they were into public communications, but it was with the UT 61 and the short-term lease that we have from the county on that. And that just flew by so fast, you couldn't even see it go by.
Perfect.
But other than that, no further comments. I don't think we have any holidays coming up, so can't wish anybody a good holiday. See you next month.
Okay, Vice President Krieger.
Thank you. I attended several Chino Hills meetings, either virtual or in person for the last two of them, which was great. The conversation last night on the Humane Society made me glad that I was not a member of council or staff or a member of IVHS last night. And Chief, thank you for clarifying Councilmember Ray's comments, because the way it was portrayed obviously disturbed me a little bit, and that's why I reached out to you for that. So thank you for that. I've been attending virtually the school district meetings, and as Don Bridge mentioned tonight, they're going through their scoping on their districts, and they have a different timeline that they have to submit it to a county, somebody ahead of time before the census data is even done. So it's almost like you guys have to do it twice. Yeah, so almost seems like a waste, but that's the way it goes. I also attended a housing development in Chino Hills on a new development. I had some questions, and it turns out that I went to an earlier one, Sarah went to a later one on it, and we both shared some concerns about fire egress and, you know, just, I was able to speak to the developer, and he let us know that he's working with our great team here already on those issues. Agenda review meeting, we've had, it seems like, numerous special meetings. The Chino fireworks show was absolutely fantastic. And as everybody else has said, the Survivor and the Heart Safe program that we have here is second to none. And how great is it to see, you know, not only the community members, but our crews here, and then the nursing team here from Pomona Valley, and have the gentleman here, you know, able to walk in and be here with us tonight as well. That's truly special. Congratulations to all the service awards, Steve, to your team. And congratulations, Tim. You've had a great tenure, and I know you're still going to be around for a while, but good job. And congratulations, Dave. I'm looking forward to working with you.
Thank you.
Oh, and prayers for everybody out on strike team right now.
Thank you for that. And Director DeMonico, I have one comment for you. We are seasoned or mature adults. We are not old, just as an FYI.
Oh, seasoned, okay, I'll take that.
I'm teasing, I just had to dig in that for you, so,
I do believe I'm the oldest
I
person
think
in
you're
this
old,
room.
yeah, okay. So I attended, we had a quarterly meeting with the city of Chino. I attended two of the city of Chino meetings and live, this last one, which I was so excited. I'm so happy to be back and seeing people in person. I really enjoy that. Zoom isn't my cup of tea. It worked, but it's not my cup of tea. The fire chief interviews, I had a meeting with the fire chief this weekend, this last month, a finance and an HR committee meeting, agenda review, our special meeting. I attended both the Chino and Chino Hills Independence Day events, and they were both wonderful, exciting. So glad to see the community, to be out and be able to talk to people, and it was so exciting for me. I just can't tell you how awesome it is to be around people again. And let me see here. Steve, thank you, as always, for the hard work of you and your staff. I know you guys work very hard on our awards, and you've really, over the years, have really brought this district up to just an exceptional level, and we appreciate that. We really, really appreciate that. And all our service awards, the 10-year guys, like, wow, I just can, like, that was crazy. I can't believe it's been 10 years already. You know, I remember when we first had them in front of us, and 10 years now. So the hometown hero, I'm so happy that we have brought that in and developed that from a district standpoint, that we can recognize people and have our own kind of award. And that was great. And, you know, I wish Ryan would have been able to be here tonight because, you know, he drives us. He's really pushed us and really raised the level for the district, and the outcome tonight of having the gentleman be able to walk in the room and us recognize the people who saved his life is great, great, great stuff. I really appreciate that. Let me see here. I think that's all of my comments for this evening. Dave, congratulations again. And Chief, don't run out too fast. We've got a lot of work to do. And but you know, thank you very, very much for everything at this point. And with that, I am going to, I first need to announce that I've created an ad hoc committee. It's called the City of Chino Hills Facilities. And I assigned, I'm sorry, Chino. Chino of City of Chino Facilities. And I appointed that on July 7th, 2021. And I appointed Vice President Krieger and Director Luth to be on the committee for the board of that. And with that, the meeting will be adjourned to a regular meeting of the Board of Directors of the Chino Valley Independent Fire District to be held on Wednesday, August 11th, 2021. Thank you.